9:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The Paddy Marketing Board has received 500 million rupees from the Treasury and 500 million rupees from the Farmer Trust Fund for the purchase of paddy. Rain has been experienced in several areas of the country. It has been stated that priority will be given for food security in the country. A discussion was held between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Basil Rajapaksa yesterday at the President's house in Colombo. The 72nd commemoration ceremony of the Mahamanya D.S. Senanayaka falls today. In foreign news, Modi's India plans its own democracy index after global rankings downgrade. The Paddy Marketing Board is currently involved in purchasing paddy for the 2023 season. The Paddy Marketing Board has received 500 million rupees from the Treasury and 500 million rupees from the Farmer Trust Fund for the purchase of paddy. From last Monday, the Paddy Marketing Board started purchasing paddy, and 2 warehouses belonging to the Paddy Marketing Board have been opened to cover every district where paddy is grown. During the last 5 days, the amount of paddy purchased by the Paddy Marketing Board is 904,202 kilograms. According to the Paddy Marketing Board, the amount spent for that is 95 million rupees. The Paddy Marketing Board has divided the paddy growing areas of the island into 7 zones and has opened 36 warehouses to buy paddy in each region, according to Mr. Buddhika Idamagoda, Chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board. Our correspondent says that rain has been experienced in several areas of the island. Accordingly, rain has been experienced in the areas of Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa districts. However, paddy harvesting is being carried out in the Giritale and Mineria areas. The Agrarian Development Department says that fertilizer concessions have been provided for the 124,000 hectares of paddy cultivation in the Anuradhapura district. Minister Nalin Fernando says that priority will be given for food security in the country. The bank interest rates will be further reduced in order to upgrade the small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. He made these remarks at the Subharati program of the SLBC this morning. He also stated that some traders are trying to put the consumers into difficulties. Stern action will be taken against such traders. Measures will be taken to encourage local poultry producers. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. A discussion was held between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Basil Rajapaksa yesterday at the President's house in Colombo. The President also met the former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and Basil Rajapaksa on the 9th of this month. Leader of the National Front of Civil Organisation Janaka Ratnayaka says that his party will contest all elections in the future. His aim is to create a state administration free of bribery and corruption. He stated this at a media briefing held in Colombo yesterday. A program will be expedited to build the economy and to develop the export and tourism industries. The 72nd commemoration ceremony of the Mahamanya D.S. Senanayaka falls today. He had rendered a yeoman service for the country's development during his tenure. He initiated an agricultural revolution in the country. He was elected in 1931 to the State Council as a Minister of Agriculture and was instrumental in starting farmer colonies in Minipe, Alahara, Kagama, Bakamuna, Mineria and Kantale. A special program will be held to commemorate the late leader at the Torrington Square this evening. And that ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne says that the government is taking every possible measure for the welfare of war heroes. He made this remark at a meeting held with the family members of the war heroes in the Town Hall Theatre, and that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
Watch live is brought to you by
CIB Navy offer. Valuable gifts and gift vouchers. 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
The Sri Lanka police has decided to offer cash prizes to individuals who provide information about illegal firearms used by organised criminal gang members. In parallel to the ongoing Yuktiya exercise to eradicate drug distribution initiated in late December 2023, the police launched a special police operation on the 19th of March in the bid to crack down on organised crimes, and that was Watchlight.
CIB Navy offer. Valuable gifts and gift vouchers. 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Coming up, world news.
First, the headlines. Modi's India plans its own democracy index after global rankings downgrade. Malaysia welcomes Chinese tourists back in droves after pandemic slump. New Gaza hospital raid, sign of Hamas capabilities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has approached a major Indian think tank to develop a homegrown democracy rating index that could help it counter recent downgrades in rankings issued by the international group that New Delhi fears could affect the country's credit rating. The Observer Research Foundation, which works closely with the Indian government on multiple initiatives, is preparing the ratings framework according to two people closely involved in the discussions on the subject. The index is expected to hew more closely to New Delhi's narrative than Western-based rankings that Modi's team has criticized. Chinese tourists are returning to Malaysia en masse after the COVID-19 pandemic slump, industry figures say, amid expectation arrivals could reach pre-pandemic levels this year following the introduction of visa-free entry. Mint Leong, president of the Malaysian Inbound Tourism Association, estimated that arrivals rose to 60,000 in January, up from about 45,000 last year, and as high as 120 in February during the Lunar New Year period. Chinese New Year will be the best arrivals post-COVID-19, Leong told Al Jazeera. 4 months after Israeli troops first stormed Gaza's biggest hospital, Al-Shifa, claiming it was a cover for Hamas command and control center, they have returned. The Israeli military said it had concrete intelligence that Hamas operatives had regrouped there. Palestinians have told the BBC of their fears at being trapped in fierce battles. While this week's raid again highlights a desperate humanitarian situation, it is also a strong reminder that Hamas is far from a spent force. Some analysts suggest it shows the desperate need for a comprehensive strategy to deal with the Islamist armed group and a clear plan on the post-war governance of Gaza. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Modi's India plans its own democracy index after global rankings downgrade. Malaysia welcomes Chinese tourists back in droves after pandemic slump. New Gaza hospital raid, sign of Hamas capabilities. That ends this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
An emergency treatment unit of the Kotaligoda Hospital has been vested with the public. The construction work of the hospital has been initiated by the Yatinuvara Grama Development Department and the support of several philanthropists in the area. Governor U.L. Gamage said that the necessary finances has been allocated for the development activities in the area.
Moving on with sports news.
Former cricketer Anusha Samaranayaka has been appointed as a new fast bowling coach of the national team, Sri Lanka Cricket announced today. Meanwhile, Mr. Hashan Amaratunga was appointed as a sports performance nutritionist and Mr. Jonathan Porter as the physiotherapist of the national cricket team, and that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැන් පුහීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියම friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Lanka Sathosa has reduced the prices of 12 essential food items to provide concessions to the consumers during the festive season. This decision was taken by Chairman of Sathosa, Pasadayapa Abewardena. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න. ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න. youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. The District Office of the Agri-Insurance Board in Galle says that compensation has been provided to more than 200 farmers for their crops which were damaged in the 2023 Yalla season. Galle District Assistant Director of Agriculture said that more than 2 million rupees has been provided as compensation, and that was economic news.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. Several spells of showers will occur in the eastern, over, north central and the northern provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere in the island during the afternoon or at night. Fairly heavy showers of about 50 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragamu and Uva provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the morning hours. To end this afternoon's news broadcast, take a look at the headlines again. The Paddy Marketing Board has received 500 million rupees from the Treasury and 500 million rupees from the Farmer Trust Fund for the purchase of paddy. Rain has been experienced in several areas of the country. It has been stated that priority will be given for food security in the country. A discussion was held between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Basil Rajapaksa yesterday at the President's house in Colombo. The 72nd commemoration ceremony of the Mahamanya D.S. Senanayaka falls today. In foreign news, Modi's India plans its own democracy index after global rankings downgrade. That ends this afternoon's news broadcast. 28 minutes past 1 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka. And it's time for me to exit the studio, but of course your usual Friday afternoon host, I should say, Geetanjali Ramanayaka. The captain is all set and ready to take over, and as you sit down to have your lunch, well, she will provide some lovely, lovely music so that you can enjoy your lunch. So I wish every one of you nothing but the very best for the coming weekend, and Geetanjali, all the very best for the weekend and the coming week as well.